us about the wars that are coming. And so we're going to remind us that man tells us the world's getting better and better. But God says they're going to get increasingly worse. That's the reality that we're confronted with here. Man says that peace among nations is close at hand. I don't think so. We spared you a whole list, not just to the UN, but all the other attempts. They're nonsense, peacemaking attempts. God says there'll be wars and rumors of wars, kingdom against kingdoms, and indeed they continue. Man expects to win the battle against disease, famine, and hardship. No. That's coming in the subsequent horses we're going to look at after this one. So, technology perspectives. It's really amazing. We've got whole studies on the technologies in the Bible. Matthew tells us that no flesh could be saved. That's a weapons technology that's unique to our age. That had no meaning in previous generations. But we live in a technology in which the nuclear cloud overhangs every geopolitical decision. We find that the Bible even anticipates global TV coverage. We talked about this, I think, in the past, that we're going to get a glimpse into the Holy of Holies. Matthew 24:15, Jesus tells you, when you see the abomination of desolation take place. Well, that's something that takes place in the Holy of Holies. Only the high priest can go in there, and only once a year after great ceremonial preparation. No, something's going to happen that we're going to be able to watch on international television, apparently. That's our presumption. We also find out that it will be a little later than that there's going to be a resurrection of bodies that have been deliberately left in the street for 3.5 days, and in Revelation 11. But there again, the whole world is going to watch those bodies get resurrected. In shock, of course. In fact, the only celebration you see in Revelation is when they're exchanging gifts because they finally got those 3 guys killed. And as they rise, that should be a real exclusive for whoever's covering that TV. And one of the mostly guarded secrets we have is neutron bombs. These are nuclear devices that attack protein only. And so they're anti-personnel form of nuclear weapon. Attractive in the sense that it doesn't damage the real estate. That the neutrons attack protein. So people in the buildings get killed, but the buildings don't get destroyed. A neutron bomb. And there are several of the major powers that have developed those as we understand it. We're going to encounter here shortly a nuclear radiation cleanup in Ezekiel 39. We'll talk about that when we get there. And we'll talk about an enigma about a third party when we get there. But there are biblical wars described in the Bible. And I've tried to make a list of the main ones here. The strangest one of all will be in Psalm 2. That's where we'll start. We'll talk a little bit about what I'll call the Armageddon campaign. There really is no Battle of Armageddon, by the way. It's really a staging area for an attack against Jerusalem. In fact, it isn't Jerusalem. We'll get to that. And we will, of course, talk about the Magog invasion, the events of Ezekiel. Many Christians are shocked to discover there are other chapters in Ezekiel besides 38 and 39, by the way. But that's obviously well-traveled ground for most of you. But there's also a more imminent candidate, Psalm 83. And we'll take a look